We are go for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Hit the record button.
Gosh, that's swell.
I'm telling you guys, listeners, this is always happening to me, and this is not a coincidence. I think there's other powers that be that don't want to be known or they don't want to be. Anyways, that's just my little conspiracy theory about my show. But regardless of that, welcome, Eric, to my show.
Thank you very much. Glad to be back.
Yeah, glad that we're talking after the fact that I saw the show because back in those early stages of the show, you were still rehearsing and we're still discussing what was Treason about. And for those that didn't come to see it or didn't get to see it at the Hollywood Festival, guess what? There's actually a new development in the Treason show, which Eric will tell us all about it right now. But it's very exciting news, guys. He's almost there, but we need your help, right?
Exactly. So, yeah, we had a great run at the Fringe Festival. Saw a lot of great shows, met a lot of great people, and really enjoyed putting on a production. Had some great success with it, but there was this feeling kind of after that. The piece is meant to be a broader story. Like, I'd love to try to get it out in front of as many Americans as possible before election 2020. So, the next logical step was, well, heck, we should just make it into a movie. So the play is written with single locations, so it gave me the confidence that I could reasonably pull that off. And, we added a few locations to the script, but all pretty reasonable. No big CGI sequences or anything. So yeah, essentially we're going out to the desert next month in November, and we're going to do a 12-day shoot and make Treason into a proper movie. So we started a Seed and Spark campaign last week, and we're already I think we've already raised $11,000 of our $15,000 goal. So I mean, we're right on our way. I'm blown away by the enthusiasm and all the support from the community. But yeah, we're just hustling, trying to get a little bit extra, and just maybe we'll rent a Steadicam, maybe we'll have a little bit better post production, and just keep grinding and see what we can do.
Right. So when do you have this? Was this something that you were thinking about doing before the Hollywood Fringe, or did this just develop after the Fringe?
Honestly, it's been fairly organic, right? Like I've been writing TV and movie scripts primarily for like the last 5 years, and when I started writing Treason, there's just a part of me that was like, okay, this is a play. This is just that's the shape that this idea is going to take. And then when we're doing Fringe, I kept getting comments from Fringe community members that seen the play. They're like, hey, this could actually be a movie. Have you thought about it? It's cinematic, all those sorts of things. Mm-hmm. And then I thought about it more and more. I'm like, look, there's a single location. I've already got actors in place. And honestly, it's the momentum of Fringe that convinced me more than anything of like, yeah, I can pull a production together. I can direct this thing and make this happen. So it was, I didn't intend to make a movie out of it, but Fringe directly led to this movie being made.
Right. And that's actually what happens with the, not only the Fringe, but I think with anything that you're passionate about, it's like things begin to take shape and fall into place, and that's great because, it means that your message got through, right? And I think I saw it, and I thought it was one of the best shows I saw this year. Not only because the writing was excellent. But I already knew that going in, it was going to be a great topic, right? And we had discussed about, how politics, American politics in particular, is very polarized as usual, but not only that, but it's also sort of like living with your parents. And when I listened to that show recently, or today actually, I listened to it, and it made so much sense because the way you had it with the family portrayal, yeah, that's what we are. We're a dysfunctional family, and we just gotta sit down at the table and just get together and talk. Because
exactly.
we don't talk, right?
But yeah, there's no communication. There's no real attempt at understanding. It's I have my side, someone else has their side, and for the most part, we just kind of yell at each other. And that's the way things have been. But that's not the way things should be in a functional democracy. Like if I don't respect my fellow citizen and she doesn't respect me, then I don't know how we have any, consensus as a country. I don't know how we could get there. So, yeah, I mean, it was the play was definitely exploring some cathartic stuff, just getting out frustration about Trump and all that. But more than anything, it was just how can we all understand each other better and just figure out the situation we're in together, because that's the only way we're going to get out of it.
Right. So yeah, it's just the topic's still going on. It's like it's not over. So yeah, I agree with you. Like once you put the show up together, and after it was over, you probably thought, well, that was it, right? But no, it's still 2019, and the elections are coming out. So something we can do is get out and vote. But not only that, but just vote consciously and vote knowing what you're doing. Because I used to vote not even knowing, just looking at the ballot and just voting for every Latino.
Mm-hmm.
And that probably was not the best of ideas.
Well, and truthfully, like, most of the time that I voted, I just kind of vote down the ballot blue. And that's definitely, I mean, I know that's not the best idea. But, we just we fall into these patterns where we have some sort of filter where we can just kind of easily figure out which candidate we're going to select from, whatever 20 people we're looking at, rather than doing all this independent research. So, on a national scale, like, yeah, I know which presidential candidates I like, and I've researched their policies and all that, but I have no idea who I'm voting for most of the time when it's like a city council member or something, and I'm a little ashamed of that. Like I wish I was more informed, but it's hard to research the 50 people you're going to vote on in a given election. So yeah, we just all kind of fall back onto those easy filters.
Yeah. And you always get the bombarded by all these media outlets, not only social media and TV and YouTube or whatever, and your iPhone gets this random texts that are supposed to be private. So I don't even know how they get my phone number. And yeah, somebody was actually calling me. Right at 9:00, and it was like fraud. It said fraud right on it. I think I flagged it as fraud. And so, anyways, I'm just surprised. I'm not surprised at all, actually, that they're listening. And so,
yeah, not surprised, but I guess disappointed would be the word, or scared. I'm not sure exactly what I am, but I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it is actually scary, if you think about it, how they want you to, go one way or the other. They're both wrong.
Absolutely.
Right. So, but yeah, tell us, what was your experience at the festival, because this was your first one? I believe, right?
Yep. And honestly, this is my first time doing theater since I was in college. But no, I had a terrific experience at Fringe. Like I moved to Los Angeles about 2 years ago, and I've been developing some community and some collaborators and all that sort of stuff. but Fringe was just kind of a jump start of, hey, here's a million cool people making really cool projects, and it was very inspiring. Honestly, I saw like 35, 40 plays, met a lot of great people. I actually on the movie production of Treason, I'm bringing on a lot of the production team from George, who I'd never met him before the festival. Then started meeting them at some networking events, and then saw their show. I was like, oh hey, these are very cool, reasonable people with similar artistic sensibilities to me, and these are people I can work with in the future. So I had a ball at Fringe. It was just all the networking parties and all the great shows I saw, but most of all, really just making all those connections and just meeting some great friends and some great collaborators. It was a fantastic time, but I definitely limped to July. Once June was over, once the Fringe madness had ended, I kind of just needed a week of just laying around and doing almost absolutely nothing. But no, I had a fantastic time.
Yeah, we always get lethargic after that. It's like, for me, it took me about, up until now, to be honest. Because not only Fringe is going on, but also live. So that's another story. But yeah, Fringe was great as well. I agree. But yeah, there's always this feeling afterwards. Where did everybody go, right?
Yep.
But actually, luckily, this year, there's more options now than there used to be before. I'm doing the Pipeline, which is headlined by Matt Quinn at Studio C, which actually happens to be the parent producer, right, of Studio Stephanie Fury, I think.
Yep, that's right.
Right. So shout out to Quinn because he's doing great. He actually came back from Edinburgh Festival, Fringe Festival, the biggest one, right? Which has 4,000 shows, productions, and happening to 1 million people. So yeah, if Treason can get there, that would be amazing, right?
Huh. Well, truthfully, like I would, I'm making this into a movie, and that's the way I know how to do it right now. But I'd love for the stage play of Treason to continue in whatever form, whether that's going to other Fringe festivals or regional theater or whatever the heck. But truthfully, I just don't have that many theatrical connections. And when I started to, in my head, calculate, like, okay, if we went to Edinburgh Fringe, I would have to raise X amount of money to feed and house and fly out the actors and just do all. It just kind of kept snowballing in my head to the point where I'm like, I don't know that I could pull this off. And weirdly enough, it made it seem like making a movie was a more realistic and easier thing to do than performing at another Fringe festival, which may or may not be entirely accurate. But I'd love to see it on stage again, but I probably won't be the one directing it this time.
Okay. And actually, as we're talking right now, Spam is calling right now. Anyway, sorry. But yeah, I agree. Especially with Edinburgh. Edinburgh is just a juggernaut that it's interesting. I like to see it. I like to just go and observe that. I'm not ready to compete with 4,000 other productions, let alone 400 here in Hollywood. So it wasn't really a big deal here. I just can't imagine 4,000 productions happening.
And just the prospect of starting entirely from scratch, right? Like, we were competing with 400 shows, so we had to battle for the same Hollywood foot traffic to a certain extent. Yeah. We also have these established networks of friends and family in and around the Los Angeles area. Maybe they're coming in from out of town, all that sort of stuff. But if you or I put on a show in Edinburgh, we have to start entirely from scratch. So we have to compete with 4,000 people with no higher ground whatsoever. And that just means hitting the streets and busking as much as possible and trying to do a splashy event and all that sort of stuff, which would be a lot of fun. But I think just a whole lot of work.
It'd be madness.
Yeah.
But hey, yeah, I agree. Actually, so you're going to be doing the filming. So you're going to be, where are you going to be taking it to? Like, what is your idea for Treason once it's already in production, so post production?
Like how would we distribute it?
Yeah.
Well, so basically, we need to get this out before the 2020 election. That's why we're shooting it so quickly and just trying to get a quick turnaround on it. So basically, the plan is, if we're gonna end the shoot on November 25th. So if I can get post production done within, let's say, 3 or 4 months, then the plan would be to submit to as many spring and summer festivals as we can find, and start doing some private screenings in LA. I've got a few distribution contacts, and just keep hit up Netflix, just whatever, just hit up every studio or distributor I can find. And worst case scenario, if we don't get picked up for some sort of commercial distribution, then we would self-release online and then start scheduling like a national tour of Treason to whatever independent theaters we can find, right? Mm-hmm. So in an ideal world, what I would love to do is basically have a tour of screenings and Q&As ramping up right to the 2020 election, just so we can really maximize getting all the voters out, maybe team up with some local Democratic campaigns, just do screenings in Iowa, do them in Oklahoma, go to Kansas, go to Kentucky. Like, what I would love to do is just get into the middle of America with this movie and, just see who I can rally. See if maybe there's a moderate that's kind of on the fence, he's not sure, and maybe we can swing him. See if there's a person that's a little stuck in their ways, and just, show them a little empathy and understanding for the other side. So, hopefully we'll have a national theatrical distribution. I mean, I'm not banking on that, but yeah, we're definitely figuring out a contingency plan just in case we have to self-distribute.
Mm-hmm. Well, after this interview, I'll give you some ideas that I have. But
absolutely, I appreciate that.
Since they're listening, spam and fraud are listening, so I'm not going to say that right now. But anyhow, joking aside, I actually believe that doing it streaming would be probably reaching more people.
Yep,
well.
Exactly.
So that's a great idea. But yeah, there's so many options, festivals and film festivals and independent film festivals that you can apply to, and I know of a couple, so you can try them. So anyhow, but for those that are listening, I actually posted right below in the link below is there's a website for Seed and Spark, which is the website that I'm looking at right now. And you want to tell the audience what they're going to be looking for when they go to Seed and Spark?
Yeah, so Seed and Spark, that's the it's basically, if you're not familiar with the platform, it's basically a crowdfunding platform like a Kickstarter, Indiegogo, but it's all film specific. And they have a distribution platform on that site as well, and it's a very supportive community, right? So when I made my campaign page, some people at Seed and Spark got back to me, and we went back and forth and collaborated, and they're telling me some hints for my video, and it's a very supportive process. But yeah, the page itself is basically just an introduction to the play, how we're turning it into a movie, and what you can do to help, and what we'll give you in return, basically. So we've got a team page that's everybody involved so far. I got a little budget breakdown if you're curious about the numbers, some clips from the play, some videos we've made, and yeah, just some incentives ranging from very fun and extremely silly, like I've been doing a lot of personalized haikus over the last week. And then, like executive producer credits and all that kind of good stuff once you get to the upper end of it. But, we've been just kind of blown away by all the enthusiasm and the turnout so far. So we still got I think we've got 20 days or 23 days to go. So we still have plenty of time in the campaign, but feeling great about it. Got some good momentum behind us.
Okay. Yeah, so it's right here, 73% raised so far. But yeah, there's still 22 days left, and maybe by the time you're listening to this, it's going to be less. So you kind of want to go to us. The site is right below, so it's kind of long. So you can go to seedandspark.com, and just look at their statement, the production statement, the project statement, and how to make a pledge. And so whoever's listening and want to be involved and want to be credited as the producer, it would be amazing if we can just have 1-2 people that can just complete the the other 27% left.
Yep.
Or more. It would be amazing. And yeah, I mean, that's how we do it, right? It's just a grassroots campaign here. But yeah, I just by having seen the show, I already know it's going to be an amazing movie, and not only that, it's just going to inspire people to get out and vote and just make a decision, make a good decision. In other words.
Yeah, I mean that's all we can ask for, right? Just get out and make your voice heard, and think about it before you go. Don't just vote for whoever you think you should vote for, or you have voted for in the past. Just think about it. Right.
Make a conscious decision, not just whatever. So, are you thinking of casting the same actors that were at the Fringe Festival?
So we're bringing back 4 out of the 5 cast members, and we're recasting the lead. Actually, I've got auditions down in Hollywood in a little bit at Simile Arts we're reading some new actors, but no, our lead from Fringe, Dave Crossland, did a fantastic job, but we just want to try a different direction for the movie.
Okay. Yeah, he actually did a great job. All of them did, actually. All of them were amazing. And so, but yeah, Grant Wilson, you have to learn to hate this guy. Love to hate this guy, because he was a great character. But you just had to he got under my skin.
Oh yeah.
I think the whole point.
And it's a tricky balance, right? Because he needs to be charismatic enough that you believe he can pull this kind of thing off, and that you enjoy watching a story about him. But he also needs to be abhorrent enough to kind of make the point, and that's what that character is. So it's I've been doing this idealized casting process in my head of if I could just hire any famous actor in the world, who would I have play Grant Wilson? It's this mix of menace and charisma, and I'm not sure exactly what that is. And I don't think he physically is exactly the type. And he might be a little youthful, maybe. No, he could play it, but the name I keep going back into my head is Michael Shannon, because he has that kind of raw magnetism that you just people would follow him. But he also has this dark side that can just kind of creep out, and he's got the darkly funny side. Obviously he could do any role almost. But that's the name I keep going back to. In a perfect world, I'd be working with Michael Shannon in a couple weeks. But maybe we'll have to wait for the second or the third movie for that one.
You never know. He might be listening.
Well, Michael Shannon, if you're listening, hit me up.
Yeah, we're not kidding. Didn't he do Boardwalk Empire, I think?
Yep.
Right. Yeah, he was creepy. I didn't finish the whole series because he was just a story.
No, truthfully, it was hard for me to get into that one. I love Martin Scorsese and Buscemi, Steve Buscemi and Michael Shannon and Tom Hardy. There's a lot to like in that series, but I don't know. For some reason, it just kind of drifted off for me.
It was just too dark for me at one point.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you know what? And by the way, I don't choose to. I choose not to pay for HBO anymore. So that's just me.
Yeah.
No, but it was a great show. I admit it was pretty. It was really very intense. But yeah, Michael, if you're listening, please reach out to either Eric or me, or just make a pledge. You can afford it.
Any way you want to get involved, Michael, we're ready for you.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, is there anything else you need to let the audience know? Because I don't know what else is going on with Treason and all that.
Well, I mean, honestly, my life's just kind of swallowed up by Treason at this point, so that's the main thing I got going on. I'd say, yeah, check out our Seed and Spark page, search for Treason, where you can check out our social media, Instagram and Twitter. We're Bear Elegance, Bear like the animal, and then Elegance. That's our production company, so we're posting all sorts of behind-the-scenes stuff and whatnot on there. And, I most importantly, just go vote. Please think about things and vote in 2020. That's more than anything. Please do that. But, that's about all I got.
All right. Well, sorry for the hiccup in the beginning, but as usual, you were able to manage it. Like. Anyways, we had to think quick. It's like, okay, what happened? Okay, he's not able to call. What's going on with Black Talk Radio? No problem. I'll just okay. That's what Black Talk Radio too. But Fringe Festival has stopped. It's like, okay, there's a problem. It needs to be fixed. We don't have the main actor. Okay, he's late. All right, let's just tell the audience. You know, it's like we have to think quickly and solve it and solve the issues, right?
Exactly.
So that's what happened this morning. But thank you for calling in again. I am looking forward to seeing the people from George as well. They were amazing. Great show, by the way, too, George.
Yeah. Shout out to Two Steps to the Left Productions, their production company. But yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah. And great actors too. So I'm glad that you guys actually teamed up, because I thought you guys had met before, and I'm like, oh, they're friends, and so you just became friends during the festival. So that's really, that's a what do you call it, a testimony as to the theater community here. We're not divided like everybody else in the country.
Oh, absolutely. It was very, very supportive, friendly. That was the best part of Fringe for me. It was just a great network of people to jump into.
Right. So yeah, follow him on Facebook. Follow me. I'll direct you to them, or vice versa, and then we'll try to move the needle, because so far the needle is going up and up and up, and we still have a few more. More dollar signs to come. So I hope that this actually helps a little bit. So once again, thank you, and I'll be talking to you soon, one of the office hours or whatever happens next.
Perfect. Absolutely. Well, thanks very much for having me on, Victor, and great talking to you as always. All
right, and we're going to take it out again with the score. Who wrote the score?
So this is I have two of my friends are in the indie rock band Young the Giant, and they composed the film score for us. They're actually going to be composing some original songs and then the score for the movie as well.
Awesome. All right, so let's take it out with I don't know the title, but it's called Treason. So here's Treason.